Hello survivors and welcome to another video. In this video we're going to be looking at the war stash that has popped up, and this is basically a new reward structure for war. They're seemingly going away from the tokens where you pull on a wheel and going towards a stash. Now there have been a lot of people asking for stashes over wheels. There is still a big RNG element to this, but we'll go through it. The way you can get the war stash tokens is in war. Surprise, surprise. As you can see, the event that is got is war. You check the rewards, and as you can see, you can get 8 from hitting 200k, and you can get up to 45 for coming first in war. It does scale all the way down to 6, so I think it's basically if you become top 3 and you also get to 200k, you're going to get the 40 required for the very first stash, and that's not too bad. As you can see, the first stash requires 40 to open. If you open all 40, you get the completion reward, which is a crate, and you have a chance of getting 1 of 8 characters. It does look like it's a completely even odd breakdown. Whether the odds are even within those fast selectables, the 2 fast characters being 50-50, or whether it's like 80-20 is up for debate. But some of these characters are fairly even or good. Like for instance, within Alert, those 2 characters are good. I think most people would probably want Herschel because he's a Guardian too, which is great. And within Strong, obviously Disarm and Revive. I guess most people would be fine with getting either of those, but again, Disarm isn't so handed out. Eric, of course, being a Revive. We've also got Solange, who is a Revive. Sandy, who is active Revive. Disarm's kind of more, is a more acquired character these days, especially within free to play. So those are the characters available in the crate. You have to open the 40 to get that. Once you've opened the 40, there is going to be extra stashes that are going to open up, and those are going to have better items within it. This first stash doesn't have anything really spectacular to speak of. It does have a couple of bennies, some cans, some medals, nothing really to shout at me and say, wow, that's amazing. Just a bit of stuff that we just use all the time, which is just okay, I guess. It just trickles us along. If you're brand new to the game and you get any of these tokens, these actually can be pretty useful, particularly bennies to help you, ascend some characters. But if you're a veteran, this is just gonna, you're gonna be plodding along with this stuff. It's just extra stuff of stuff you gain all the time and stuff you use all the time. So it's not great, but it's not terrible. Because if you think about it, when you normally with war and come first place, you just do a pull on an RNG wheel and you get no extra stuff. Whereas with this, you're getting a pull effectively, 1 of 8 characters from that crate, and you're getting 40 items, just a little bit of bonus here and there. In terms of what's in the extra stashes, it's hard to know, but in the last stash there is a GPS, so kind of highlights that maybe it's much higher tier gear. Same with the watches, slightly lesser tier gear than the GPS one, and then with a Lilith being in here again, it just seems to tier up. The amount of stings you need to actually claim seems to tear down though. As you can see, it goes from 40 for the first, then 30, then 20, then 10, which is of course 100 overall. Now this stash only does last 7 days, and it's unclear how people are going to be able to gain these war tokens other than war. And unless you come top 3 and get 200k, you're not going to get a pull. Basically, you're not going to be guaranteed a pull. You're going to either have to buy tokens. There are no blitz wars scheduled on the calendar, so whether this stash is going to get extended, because 7 days just doesn't seem to be long enough. There's no war next weekend, so it doesn't look like everyone's going to get a pull at the moment. Whether this is a mistake or not, well, I guess we'll find out. But a lot of the time these things aren't changed, so it is as we see it. If you don't come top 3 and hit 200k, because third place gets 32 and 200k means you get 8 more, you will not get a pull effectively. You will not get this crate to get a chance of getting a character. You will get some extra bits and pieces, but nothing spectacular. So if you do want to get a pull, you have to get 200k and top 3, or you have to come first place. And if you come first place and get 200k, you're going to get a couple of pulls into the second stash, like 13 pulls into the second stash. So you're going to get a couple more, bits and pieces. Again, we can't see what's in the second stash or not. But yeah, it isn't great from what I can see in terms of, I prefer it to last longer, obviously, at least a couple of wars. I think most people would want to try and get their hands on a character. Maybe some blitz wars in there, maybe a cross-region war in there, I don't know. But it is only going to last 1 war, apparently. And I guess the rest is going to come down to offers and, that sort of section of the pay-to-play sort of area of the game. So that's the end of this video, guys. Do tell me what you think. Do tell me which character, if you do get a pull, which one would you actually want to get your hands on? My picks will probably be Marlon, Herschel, or Bruce. I'd be happy with any of those 3. But Carl or Davey as well are pretty cool. Other than that, I probably want to steer clear of Eris, Dante, and Aiko, just because A, I've got them already, but B, they're more common, except Dante, but I don't want to get common characters if I can help it. But I'd really like to get Bruce, just because he's a disarmer, and I think he would change a lot for my team personally. But that's it in this video, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.